Okay, so I missed this when it dropped last night, and I was showing you Marvel earlier, and then I also forgot it. But today we got, or last night, we got the Resonator showcase for Iuno, and then also, this page, and then the page on her weapon and Ascension materials. So we're just going to go through that quickly. Going to react to it, going to watch this video, and yep, here we go. Oh, that animation looks really good.
I am the moon that never falls.
Like
here to rewrite the ending.
15 feet close-ups in the very beginning. I love her animations. I love how flowy her like kit is. Whoa. That's got to be from the story. There's no way all that is her old animation.
The flames of fate lit long ago. A priestess born in a lunar eclipse sees what others never will. To anchor the future of September. From that moment on, the life of Iuno was thus ordained.
So good.
Born in a lunar eclipse.
I can't wait for the next half of this story to come out. And yeah, I was seeing screenshots on Twitter. This animation at the beginning with like the 50 different close-ups of the feet is crazy. But otherwise, the animation style is like, I really love their animation style. And I love how they always swap from like the different styles to in-game and stuff like that. I love her, yeah, just how flowy her kit looks. Like you glide around the battlefield. I love that. All right, so that's that. We have profile reveal, stasis, cycle, renewal, Iuno, loading data, Iuno. She is favored by fate under one name and swept away by it in another. Yet never once has she been defeated, nor has she ever yielded. Now witness a defiant priestess, witness what keeps her striding forward, never to look back, witness how she walks in the intricate web of destiny and becomes the only answer. There's her card. Iuno the prodigy, born under the lunar eclipse, a priestess who sees the future, curious about what lies ahead. Come to me, but no promises of the perfect ending you seek. And then she's arrow, gauntlets. She uses the abyssal husk, silver glow bloom, and the polygon core. Upgrade materials, obviously, the gauntlet material, polygon core, and then netherworld stare. Combat roles, support and healer, concerto efficiency, resonance liberation damage, heavy attack damage amplification. So that's great. Support and healer. I didn't know she healed. Concerto efficiency, I guess she gets her concerto very, very quickly. Her main source of damage is going to be liberation damage, and then she amps heavy attack on outro. And then here we have her gauntlets. Oh, those look so good. Okay, it also says it in here. Post lament, weapons, moon gazers, sigil. By what means do all things endure? By light and heat, by matter and word, by the mechanics of converging chances, by the soft dissolution into silence, by a moment that mimics the eternal. All things rise and fall in endless rhythm, each bearing its meaning. As for hers, it lies here within her grasp. Base stats, 500 attack and 36 crit rate. I think that's pretty good for crit rate. That's really good, actually. And then increases attack by 12%. Casting intro skill or resonance liberation increases resonance liberation damage by 20% for 15 seconds. Obtaining shield allows resonance liberation damage to ignore 7.2 of the target's defense for 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. This effect is triggered once every 0.5 seconds. Upon casting intro skill, this effect reaches maximum stats immediately, lasting for 3 seconds. That's pretty good. And the Ascension materials, obviously going to be the gauntlets and the howler cores. So yeah, that looks really, really good. What is this one? Does this give anything else? Oh, it does. So that's her normal attack. Basic attack, attack with moon ring, dealing arrow damage. I also love that she's blue and does arrow damage. I love that about this game. The like character designs and colors aren't tied to what their element is. I guess you could say it is a little nice sometimes when that is the case, when the colors are strictly tied to the element, makes it look a little cleaner. But I don't know. I don't really think I'd like her design in green. I do like the blue. Anyway, mid-air attack, deal arrow damage. Moonbow basic. Iuno will enter lunar cycle new moon by casting heavy attack flux moon ring. When in this state, Iuno will attack with the moonbow dealing arrow damage. So where that one. So that's basic attack, basic attack. There's a mid-air attack. Wait, no. Wait. She start off in the mid-air attack? I don't know. I know that shot right there. Okay, no, this is basic attack. Heavy attack. That's already, yeah. That's a lunar cycle. Basic attacks, okay. Resonance skill, Pulse of Origins, deal arrow damage. Closing refrain after casting basic attack stage 3, intro skill or Pulse of Origins. Iuno's resonance skill is replaced with closing refrain. Casting closing refrain deals arrow damage and activates a lunar cycle. Unfinished refrain, when in lunar cycle half moon, Iuno's resonance skill is replaced with unfinished refrain. Casting unfinished refrain deals arrow damage. Arc Beyond the Edge, when in lunar cycle new moon, Iuno's resonance skill is replaced with Arc Beyond the Edge. Casting Arc Beyond the Edge deals arrow damage. So yeah, all dealing damage, all doing the same thing. I'm assuming the main difference is going to be the amount of damage it does, the multipliers. So this one, and yeah, in the order that it's revealed here, it'll probably be the order of damage it does. I don't see much of a difference between these though. Or is it literally all just the same? Okay, yeah, it literally all just looks, it's just playing the same one. It's not like the other one where there's different animations. Okay. Resonance Liberation, deal arrow damage and activate the lunar cycle state. Okay, so the lunar cycle state is when she's just chilling on top of the glider thingy. Does she shoot it with her feet? She does. Oh my god. Forte circuit. Oh, that's cool. Those animations are cool. Okay. Lunar Cycle. Iuno can activate Lunar Cycle by casting Resonance Skill, Closing Refrain, or Resonance Liberation. Lunar Cycle has 2 states, Half Moon and New Moon. Iuno switches states when she jumps. Okay, Half Moon attack with Moon Ring, restoring sentience on hit. New Moon attack with Moonbow, consuming sentience to increase damage, restore additional concerto energy, and heal nearby resonators in the team. Okay. So you attack with the Moon Ring. She switches states when she jumps. So I wonder if it's, yeah, you just like jump and then, so you start out, you're in Half Moon, you jump and then you're in New Moon and then you jump again and you're in Half Moon. Or I wonder if it means like a jumping attack, like you jump attack, and then once after the attack is done, it swaps the state. I'm not sure, but either way, that seems like a very good like flowy way to switch between the two states. I really like that. And then New Moon, New Moon is busted. You consume the sentience that you get from Half Moon to increase the damage, restore additional Concerto energy, and heal resonators. That's really good. Heavy attack, heavy attack absolute fullness. When Iuno's Concerto energy is full, her heavy attack is replaced with absolute fullness. Casting absolute fullness heals nearby resonators, deals arrow damage to targets nearby, and conjures a full moon domain at her location. Resonators inside the full moon domain periodically restore HP and stamina. Okay, gaining a shield inside the domain grants 1 stack of Blessings of Wand Light, which grants 4% of damage amplification for the receiving resonator, stacking up to 10 times. Okay, so I think that is why. That's one of the bigger reasons why she's really good with Augusta. And not as great with Gion, but still pretty good with Gion. Because nowhere in this kit has it said that she gives a shield, which I thought she did. But no, nowhere so far has it said that she grants a shield, just Concerto energy and healing. And then within the domain, you don't even get a shield. All it says is gaining a shield inside the domain. And nowhere in here does it say it gives you a shield. 4% stacking up to 10 times. Yeah. Sentience. Iuno restores sentience upon casting intro skill, Resonance Liberation, Closing Refrain, or Unfinished Refrain. When Iuno hits a target in Half Moon, she restores sentience. Intro skill, Illuminated Manifestation, deals arrow damage. Outro skill, deal 100% arrow damage. Incoming resonator gains 50% heavy attack damage amplification. This effect ends early if they are switched off the field. Combat Guide. Deal high resonance liberation damage, heal resonators in the team, and grant damage amplification to resonators who gain a shield. Yeah, see, to resonators who gain a shield. So that's what makes her just insane with Augusta. I see. Consuming Forte Gauge to boost damage output and gain additional Concerto energy. Outro skill amplifies the incoming resonator's heavy attack damage. When Iuno is in Lunar Cycle Half Moon, attacks recovered Forte Gauge on hit. When Iuno is in Lunar Cycle New Moon, casting Moonbow basic attack, Resonance skill Arc Beyond the Edge, and Moonbow dodge counter consumes Forte Gauge. Okay. When Concerto energy is full, Iuno can cast heavy attack absolute fullness. Okay, skills. Moonring basic attack, perform up to 3 consecutive attacks with the Moonring. Midair attack consumes stamina to perform a plunging attack. Moonring dodge counter, press normal attack shortly after a successful dodge to attack the target with Moonring, dealing arrow damage. Press normal attack again shortly after performing this skill to cast Moonring basic attack 3. Moonbow basic attack, interlunar cycle, new moon by casting heavy attack, flex Moonring. When in this state, Iuno will attack with the Moonbow, performing up to 3 consecutive attacks with the Moonbow, dealing arrow damage considered as resonance liberation damage, can be cast mid-air. When in lunar cycle, new moon, press normal attack shortly after a successful dodge to attack the target with Moonbow, dealing arrow damage considered as resonance liberation damage. When in lunar cycle, new moon, press normal attack again shortly after. Stage 3 can be cast mid-air. Resonance skill, foresight, fugue, pulse of origins, dash forward, dealing arrow damage, closing refrain. When not in lunar cycle, casting Moonring basic attack 3, intro skill, or pulse of origins replaces Iuno's resonance skill with closing refrain for 5 seconds. Casting closing refrain unleashes a flurry of strikes, dealing arrow damage, and activates lunar cycle. Unfinished refrain. When in lunar cycle half moon, Iuno's resonance skill is replaced with unfinished refrain. Casting unfinished refrain unleashes a flurry of strikes, dealing arrow damage. Unfinished refrain shares the same cooldown as closing refrain. Okay, so they all share the same cooldown. Arc Beyond the Edge. When Iuno is in lunar cycle new moon, her resonance skill is replaced with Arc Beyond the Edge, which has 2 initial charges. Casting Arc Beyond the Edge causes Iuno to shift position and deal arrow damage, considered as resonance liberation damage. Directional input can be used to extend the travel distance. If Iuno is hit or launched into mid-air, casting Arc Beyond the Edge immediately makes her recover from the attack. Can be cast mid-air. Okay. Resonance Liberation, Beneath Lunar Tides. deal arrow damage, and activate lunar cycle state can be cast midair. Okay. There's still a lot more to go through. Lunar Cycle. Iuno can activate Lunar Cycle by casting Resonance Skill, Closing Refrain, or Resonance Liberation. Lunar Cycle has 2 states, Half Moon and New Moon. By default, Iuno enters a Half Moon state when activating Lunar Cycle and can switch between 2 states by casting Heavy Attack. When in Lunar Cycle, Iuno's jump is replaced with Heavy Attack. Okay, so that answers my question from earlier. Stamina won't recover when Iuno is in midair. Iuno's movement becomes Meandering, which consumes STA continuously in midair to move through in a unique manner. Performing environmental interactions like utilities or holding jump will end Lunar Cycle. Lunar Cycle Half Moon. Iuno's attacks using the Moon Ring, restoring sentience on hit. She can use Heavy Attack Flux Moonbow to deal arrow damage considered as Resonance Liberation and switch to Lunar Cycle New Moon. Heavy Attack Flux Moonbow can be cast mid-air. Lunar Cycle New Moon. Iuno attacks using the Moonbow. While in this state, casting Moonbow Basic Attack, Resonance Skill, Arc Beyond the Edge, or Moonbow Dodge Counter consumes sentience to increase the skill's damage multiplier. Okay, restore additional concerto energy and heal nearby resonators in the team. Iuno can use Heavy Attack, Flux, Moonring to deal arrow damage considered as Resonance Liberation damage, and switch to Lunar Cycle Half Moon. Heavy Attack Flux Moonring can be cast midair. Heavy Attack Absolute Fullness. When Iuno's Concerto energy is full, her Heavy Attack is replaced with Absolute Fullness. Casting Absolute Fullness ends Lunar Cycle, provides healing for nearby resonators in the team, deals arrow damage to nearby targets, considers Resonance Liberation damage, and conjures a full moon domain on her location. This effect can be triggered once every 25 seconds. So it doesn't say here if it consumes her concerto. Just when she gets to full concerto, she can leave behind this domain and then okay. Resonators inside the domain periodically restores HP and stamina. Gaining a shield inside the domain grants 1 stack of Blessing of the Wand Light. This effect can be triggered every 0.5 seconds. Receiving resonators gain 4% all damage amplification for 10 seconds, stacking up to 10 times, gaining new stacks resets the duration. This effect ends early if the receiving resonator is switched off the field. Yeah, see, I don't like that. Don't like that. Sentience. Iuno can hold up to 100 points of sentience. Casting intro skill restores 40 points of sentience. Casting Resonance Liberation restores 60 points of sentience. Casting Closing Refrain or Unfinished Refrain restores 25 points of sentience. When Iuno is in Lunar Cycle, Moonring Basic Attack, Moonring Dodge Counter, and Mid-Air Attack restores sentience on hit. Intro skill, deal arrow damage. Outro skill, from Gloom to Gleam. Attack the target, dealing 100% arrow damage. Incoming resonator gains 50% heavy attack damage amplification for 14 seconds. This effect ends early if they are switched off the field. Casting outro skill won't interrupt heavy attack. Absolute fullness. And the outro skill effect still applies. Okay. Won't interrupt heavy attack. Wait, okay. So then you can cast that heavy attack. It's not going to consume your forte, or not your forte, your concerto. And then yeah, you can cancel that animation, but it'll still go, and you can swap on to whoever you're using. Inherit skill. Oh, wait, never mind. Inherent skill, Waxing Ascent. Every time Iuno casts basic attack, heavy attack, dodge counter, resonance skill, resonance liberation, or intro skill, she gains 1 shield equal to 32% of her attack for 15 seconds. Oh, this shield will not be passed on to the incoming resonator. Okay, never mind. So her skill is a self buff for herself, or another big damage buff for Augusta and any future units who put on multiple shields very quickly, which I don't think, yeah, now that that is a specific buff in the game, I don't think that'll really happen outside of Augusta. I mean, you still have Brant, but he can't reliably activate and re-up this buff like at all. But it does seem like a nice damage buff for her. But I also don't see the point if casting that doesn't consume your concerto. Because then why wouldn't you just swap off? I don't know. I do wish that that shield would be passed on to the incoming resonator. I really do. Inherent skill derivation. When Iuno casts intro skill or resonant separation, she immediately gains 5 stacks of blessing on the wand. I don't know why that was so loud. Okay. Yeah, so not exactly the kit I was fully expecting. I didn't expect her to be a hardcore support for Augusta, but the heavy attack amplification is still going to be good for my Gion. She doesn't inflict stacks of arrow erosion, so she can't use that one set. And I haven't looked at the set that is like made for her specifically. But anyway, yeah, that's Iuno. I'm still excited for her. I still want her. Definitely still going to be pulling for 100% her and her weapon. There's no way I'm not going to. And yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. Peace.